What is up, everybody? Hopefully we're live and everyone can see us. I'll have to do a check on that. Here with my guy, Cody. Here with my guy, DK. Great slate, 20K to first. Friday, we might have to run it back Friday, boys. 25K to first. I'm glad we picked today to do it instead of Friday, even though we might do both now, because we got some huge news in the Seattle game. Late Night Hammer becomes very, very live. Cody, I'll go to you first because you're in the middle. What's your thoughts on the stream so far, or the stream so far? What's your thoughts on the slate? What are you doing with the Seattle news? Because I feel like that's big. We'll start with it. And then how you doing today?
It's been a good day. Been a little hectic. Obviously, news is crazy. I'm just glad we got it before lock. Obviously, the slate's weird. One early game, one middle game, and then one late game. News is crazy. I mean, I love the bigs for Seattle. I love Ezzy even more now. But it's ridiculous. I mean, the matchup couldn't be much better, and I'm all in on Ezzy.
Same. I mean, good chalk. Going to be extremely owned with Cardoso, but I think it's good chalk. I think Phoenix likes to go small. Natasha Mack's not going to put up too much of a push, so I think it's good chalk. DK, how you doing today?
How was your weekend? Man. Liking these contests for WNBA. I mean, we talked about the 25K to first up top, the 20K to first tonight filled, which is nice. So yeah, hopefully we keep getting these contests, and we'll talk about the late game. I think that's probably my favorite game to target. Obviously the late news with Nako getting rolled out. So just excited to talk some DFS.
Yeah, I think what up, Glock? There's a lot of things to talk about for the late game. I want to get into it, but we can't. We got to talk about first two games. So let's talk about a game that we all think that if it stays close, I mean, large field GPPs is going to be the absolute key. We'll start with Washington. I got the screen up here. Hope I don't mess this up. Ariel Akins, I've been playing her all year. She never really hurts me. I feel like I've only had one really massive game. I think she would benefit from the close game, obviously. A little worried about like all the defensive tension being on her, but she's still so cheap. The usage is just massive. I mean, you go look at the usage numbers. I don't know what they are right in front of me, but wow, it's nuts. She's the entire offense right now, especially when Shakira's out. And then we got a couple, like Aaliyah's going to start for Shakira. We've had a good game from her when she started against, was it Seattle, Cody?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, her first start was her best game of the year.
She looked awesome. So obviously the matchup isn't easy, but she's 6,300 and she's going to have decent usage. And then a bunch of other pieces that are, man, I like Melbourne for cheap, but I'll go to you, DK, this time. We'll switch it up. Are you going to play this as if it's going to be a close game? I know you're not running multiple lineups. You're doing one. Will you have a piece from this game on the Washington side?
Currently, no on my single entry, but I am scared, obviously, because if this game does stay competitive, you're going to see one of the Mystics do really well. You mentioned Atkins. So she has the highest usage with Sykes and Austin off the court this year. She got 28% usage rate. Next highest for really any main rotation player is Aaliyah Edwards at 22. So Atkins definitely be leading the way here. I think if you do think it stays competitive, she's probably the first person you want to look to. But also the front court as well. Obviously with Austin out, just a little more run for Dolson and Edwards and Samuelson and Hines Allen. So the Mystics do run a pretty deep rotation, but Shakira Austin that relatively high usage and low 20s minutes have to go somewhere. So I think it's mainly Atkins and then some of the cheaper front court pieces that I'm interested in here. I can't hear.
Oh, my bad. I thought I was on mute. I'll throw out some more names for people who are multi-entering. Dolson's going to start, but I'd rather just YOLO and play Hines Allen if I'm running like 20 plus. Walker Kimbrough, probably be like my last person out. And then if I had to pick one to be on a main team play, like I'm running like 12 tonight, but if I was you guys only running one or two, I think Melbourne is in serious consideration to be, depending on how it fits. And you don't want to play Burke and you want to have like Melbourne with Cardoso, I'm okay with Melbourne in a main team play. I think she plays in a blowout and I think she plays in a competitive game.
Yep.
So out of this game, if I had to pick one to be my main lineup, I'm going to go Melbourne and then probably Atkins, Edwards. Cody, how would you break this down?
I tend to agree. Like if this game will be the nuts if it stays close. Washington's kept pretty much every game close, minus the Seattle game when they just got absolutely demolished. They shot like 18% from the field. Atkins shot 0 of 12. If the game stays close, I mean, she's obviously their offense, especially with Sykes and Austin out. She would probably be the biggest beneficiary if the game stays close. Obviously, if you're playing Alyssa Thomas or Brianna Jones, or you pretty much want to run it back with someone on Washington and hope the game stays competitive just out of need, because if it doesn't stay close, really nobody in this game is going to get the optimal, in my opinion.
I think that's a great point. Like, if you do play Atkins, you're definitely going to want to play a Connecticut run back, because in that scenario it stayed close.
That's really the only play, like the only reason you would play Atkins. Like if you're playing Atkins, you have to have somebody on the other side, in my opinion.
Yeah. And when we say it's going to be the nuts, we don't mean like these teams play fast pace. It's going to be like 80 to 80. We mean ownership adjusted and price adjusted. If this game stays close, add that together, it'll be the nuts. I mean, you'll get people who are just going to obliterate their price. Like Bree Jones would obliterate hers. Alyssa Thomas probably goes for a triple double. I mean, so on. But probably enough from Washington. I feel like Connecticut's pretty obvious, but we'll go ahead and see how it works this year. I mean, I only really played 2 girls from Connecticut. I'm going to be honest. I love Dejanay, but all right, I'll be short and sweet. Like I said, I'm only playing Bree Jones. I got lucky with the Tyasha Harris game over the weekend. I think I'm going to hop off. I think Mitchell in a blowout narrative for people running 20 lineups is fine. Dejanay's hot, but Bree Jones very close to making my main team. Alyssa Thomas probably going to be under on her. I might only have like 1 of 12 of Alyssa Thomas, but am I missing something here, guys? I'll go start with you, Cody. We'll just run it back. We're doing snake draft, baby. Cody, anyone on here?
Obviously, if you have the salary and you're playing Atkins, you should try and start with Alyssa Thomas. I mean, I'm one of the biggest Bree Jones fans. Her price is too low. Her minutes are back. She's completely off her limit. If the game stays competitive, she's going to play 30 minutes. It's a bonkers matchup. Like, no Shakira Austin. She should just have her way with Dolson or Hines Allen, or really anyone. And I love the spot for her. She's about $1,000 too cheap, assuming the game stays competitive. But if it doesn't, this is the problem. You see the 18 minutes against Phoenix. She's the first one that's pulled, because she always comes out midway through the first.
That's a big girl.
Quarter. Yeah.
Hey.
She always comes out midway through the first and third quarter, and she'll come back to start the second and fourth. And if the game's close, she'll play the entire second and fourth. If it's not, she's going to come out early. And if you play her and it's a blowout, you have to hope she's the reason it's a blowout.
Talking about blowout, someone who is blowout proof is Tasha Harris. I was watching her in the last game, and they were up pretty handily. She'll just stay out there. I mean, I don't really like the price increase. Like I said, I probably won't play her, but if you fall in the last piece, 20, you're running 20 or something. Dejanay's just too expensive. Like, she's just, I mean, she's out. Let's be honest. I mean, she's out there to defend. Like, she is an absolute bulldog. Offense is her second nature. Tiffany Mitchell sucks, but blowout narrative, people. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Let's get on to the middle game. We got. Let's start with the Liberty. Start with the Liberty here. DK, unless you want to talk about your Connecticut, anything different on Connecticut, go ahead and break down Liberty for us.
Yeah, so Connecticut, I think Bree Jones is the best player, best play on Connecticut. I don't think it's really close either. Not projected for like insane ownership. And so I'm.
Where's she at? You care to tell us what Bree Jones is at?
Yeah, so where's she at? So right now projected for high 20s in ownership. For a 3-game slate, I think that's still too low.
Yeah.
Because on the season, she's 1.1 fantasy point per minute player. And the minutes have ticked up over the last couple games, right? She's on a limit to start the year, playing around like 20 minutes a game. Last 2 games, 30 and then 27 minutes. So, I mean, if you give her like 28 minutes, that's projecting her for over 30 fantasy points, which is going to stand out as one of the best point per hour plays in the slate. So I think she's my favorite play in Connecticut. You mentioned Harris is fine. She won or helped me get second in the tournament on Sunday. Yeah, I think Bree Jones is one of the better plays in the slate for sure.
I love it. Liberty, DK, I'm running right back at you.
Yeah. So Liberty, I think the standout there for me is going to be John Cole Jones. So only played 29 minutes last game in that game against the Fever, but it was a massive blowout. I think she played like almost the entire first half because you had Sabali out and Stewart was in some foul trouble. So pretty high on John Cole Jones there, 9.4K. I think she's going to play over 30 minutes, assuming the game does stay competitive, which it should, playing on the road in Chicago. So yeah, she's probably the standout there for me. If you want to get to Breanna Stewart or Sabrina, I think that's totally fine. Obviously, both have a pretty high ceiling. There's enough value to get Stewart in there as well. We got some value opening up, right, with Mercedes Russell and some people on Seattle. You got Cardoso. It's pretty solid value as well. So I think if you want to spend up for one of those two, that's fine. Vandersloot in a revenge game narrative, I think is kind of a filler play. Not going to prioritize her, but fine like as a last piece in. Should play, mid-high 20s minutes in a competitive game. And then Laney, I think, is also similar to Vandersloot. Not going to prioritize her, but if she lands in my lineup, I think it's fine.
I kind of have the same sentiment on Vandersloot. Guard was pretty weak before the Ezzy news. Opened up some more like value for the Seattle guards, but I don't know. If you fall in that range, like I don't really like the 9. I never like the 9K guard. So Vandersloot I think is fine. I really like John Quell. I feel like she's priced as if I told Cody before the stream. She's priced as if Sably is still playing because Sably was balling and absolutely eating into John Quell's minutes. Without Niara, how's their first name? Without Sably in the lineup, like there's just all John Quell and Breanna Stewart. And when John Quell says that foul trouble and gets minutes, I love watching her play. She's just awesome. She hasn't been making the threes lately. She's been chucking them up, and that's a big girl. So I think you have. I mean, guys, I hate to say this.
She looks healthy. Last year,
you had to have John Quell or Breanna in a lineup.
Yeah, I think the only concern of John Quell is foul trouble. Like, I think if she avoids foul trouble, she's also one of the better plays in slate.
But it feels icky making a lineup without either of them. I want at least one.
Yeah.
Without Sably, like, I hate to say stuff like that because optimal can be anything, but man, you can't play small against Chicago. Like, you're gonna have to play two big the whole time. I mean, so they're gonna play.
They only have 3.
Yeah, so they had to stay out of foul trouble. They have to not be handsy. I never really played Sabrina. I mean, it's just not in me. Laney Hamilton is I like playing her when she's low 7s. Thornton and Burke, I'll let you all talk about them. With this other stuff opening up for the late game, I think I'm going to be completely off the bench or the other girls benefiting from that. So, DK, you like Burke or Thornton?
No, I think there's better value. I'd rather get Cardoso or Russell. So
yeah, we just have more stuff open up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing 20 out in like a certain lineup, like all stud build, Burke maybe works. I think that's where I put her in at like 1 p.m. But besides that, like all I want from her is like 9, and then all my studs go nuclear. I'm not expecting her to like do anything fancy. But
yeah.
All right, where are we at here? We broke down New York, so we got all right, Chicago. I hate playing Chicago. Ugh. I hate playing this team. They run like a 30-man rotation. Like, it's so tilting. But my favorite play, it's funny, my favorite play is actually Marina Mabry. I don't like anyone else. I think DeShields, before stuff opened up, was a really good GPP play. I still think she is. No one's going to play her. She's just, the minutes aren't great, but she'll chuck. The usage is awesome. The New York Liberty, how do you attack them? You attack their backcourt. It's Laney Hamilton, but she's not going to be worried about DeShields. Probably going to be on Mabry a lot. And Mabry's probably going to do it. It doesn't matter who's guarding her. Like, she's a bucket. She's going to do what she does. So I like those two. I really like maybe for main team play. I think DeShields is probably a 10-plus lineup type of play. I'm not going to be on Trinity. I'll be off. Obviously, I'm jamming Cardosa. Anything? Okay. A good topic point for this Chicago team is, what are you doing with Trinity Carter for both of you? I don't know who I went to last, so whoever answers first. How you handling
I can't pay $6,900 for her with DeShields playing. I just can't. And even as good as she played on Saturday, I think she could get a couple extra minutes, but they're not going to just start her unless we see her as in the starting lineup. I just can't pay that for her.
We got two good questions here. We said Cardoso's on a minutes limit. She played what, 18 awesome minutes?
Yeah. I figure they'll keep her around like 20.
I'm not worried about the minutes limit. DK, you worried about it?
No, not the price point. I think you're going to get similar minutes. Obviously, she was, put up great stats in college. First game in the WNBA. Played well, too. Good point per minute. So, Yeah, I think at that price point, I'm not super worried about it because you don't need a ton at that salary.
Here's what it is. It's like down there, no one else has her upside. I don't think she's locked to go for like 7X or no. Down there, I think she has a good floor. And I think her upside is unmatched with anyone else down there. And then another good point from Mr. Anthony. Burke is way more in play on FanDuel. She's the flat min priced. I mean, like I said, I think you can jam kind of the studs and just get what you get from Burke at that 3K min price. So good point, Mr. Anthony. Any other Chicago talking point? I mean, Evans is good cash play. I always recommend her for cash. She'll just play a lot of.
She's gonna get 25 fantasy points. That's that's just what she is.
If salary is not a concern, Stewie or Lloyd, I'm going Stewie. You guys?
Yeah.
Straight up Stewart for sure.
Straight up, yeah. And then Williams and Reese are just too expensive with Cardoso back in the lineup. We got to wait till those salaries get adjusted because, I mean, that's just too much mouth to feed.
I just can never pay over 8K for Elizabeth Williams.
I can't pay over 8K for Reese. She can't make a freaking 2-foot jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great rebounder.
Yep.
Amazing. One of the best rebounders I've ever seen. But that's about it. Oh, that's a great question. I think we should be doing more like this. We'll just see what everyone's schedules is and stuff. But definitely, we're going to put something together Friday. We'll see who's available, see if these guys can run it back. But, yeah, definitely more live shows. I mean, they're going to be giving us 20K up top. Like, the people need stuff. They need less than me talking. So let's get someone else on here. Let's do the last game. We're going to have a lot talked about here. A lot of scenarios of what they'll be doing rotation-wise. Cody, you're the one who got me on it. But let's talk about Seattle since we got our girl Naneka out. What are you doing with Seattle? Who's the sneak? Who's the locks?
I love Ezzy. I loved her before the NECA out news. I had some lines with both just because typically the best way to attack Phoenix is with the bigs because they play small. It is what it is. Obviously, Ezzy's going to be a lot more popular now with NECA out. But Joel Lloyd, one of the best GPP plays, she's never high owned and she has slate breaking upside really every slate because she's going to shoot it. I love Skylar Diggins-Smith. I don't really buy into the revenge narrative very often. She is very petty, and the way things broke with Phoenix, how things kind of broke down internally, she might come with some extra fire, but obviously Russell's like uber chalk now because she's going to start. I like Jordan Horston. That's going to be my stand. I'll be way overweight to the field on Horston for sure.
Yeah, so that's what we think. They go small. Now, DK, you like Russell more than I think we do. I think you're more open to playing Russell than what we are.
Yeah,
I just think they go small. But talk to us about Russell and tell the people she's in play.
We're pretty sure Russell should get the start. She started the 2 games that Nick had missed. She didn't have the best game in either of those starts, but the thing was the minutes, 30 and 34 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think she's probably going to opt. If you're playing cash games, I think she makes your cash game lineup. She's projected to be the highest on play this slate. I get it. You mentioned Horston. I think that's the good pivot. So like Russell's projecting for a little over 20 fantasy points. Horston's in like the high teens. And Mercedes Russell's going to be a lot more popular. So she's like your cash play. I think Horston's a good pivot in tournaments. I think it's close to impossible to get away from any of the top. Like, I think you need at least one of the top 3 here from Seattle: Lloyd, Diggins-Smith, and Ezzy. I think Diggins-Smith probably the most optimal of the 3. But yeah, I think with Nika out, I think you need at least one. Fine playing 2 if you want to play all 3. I think it's totally reasonable and stack the game up. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite team to target with Nika out. Just because the usage is so condensed, right? It was usually the top 4, now Nika's out. It's going to be at the top 3. Russell's not a high usage player, so yeah, really like those top 3: Lloyd, Diggins-Smith, and Ezzy. And then again, I think Russell optimal value, Horston like a good GPP pivot.
And so who were the 2 games when Russell did start? They went against.
They were
Washington. They Washington
and New York.
Okay, so I mean, Liberty's tough inside. Like, that's a tall task. What could we really expect her to do there? And then Washington's they're no slouch inside. I mean, if Shakira didn't play that game, Shakira's an awesome defender. But still, it just doesn't seem like they give up too much inside. So Easier matchup for Cody.
I just got a feeling they're gonna go small.
I'm following you, but I'm warning the people because we don't want a Thornton situation. That's why I'm glad DK's on here. So great cash play.
Yeah.
If you have a great lineup,
Russell's much safer. Like if you're only playing one lineup, I would not play Jordan Horston because
let's do this scenario.
She's very unsafe.
You have a nut lineup and utility. You got enough salary for Russell or Horston. You had Horston, but now your lineup went off. You don't really need someone to be unique. You just need something. Are you going Russell? You're still going Horston, but you should go Russell.
I'm still playing Horston just because that's me. I just think she's by far the upside play. She's a great defender. I just worry about their minutes. Like her minutes have not been secure at all this season. Even she's had a couple games where she's played well and still didn't get extended. And they'll play Whitcomb and her, and you just never know. But I just have a feeling that they might go a little small.
That's spicy. I like it. And I've watched Horston. I think she's really good. If they go small, I think that'll be the nuts. We got some questions to get caught up on. 2 Storm Max for tonight, and then this is basically a 2-part question. 2 different people, but for Seattle. So 2 Storm Max? I don't think so. I think you can play.
I think you can play 3.
Because we didn't talk about Diggin Smith. I think Diggin Smith's a great play. We even talked about her.
Yep.
I mean, you did. I'm sorry, you did, because you talked about the revenge narrative, but I didn't, and I have a lot of Diggin Smith tonight. I think you can easily play Diggin Smith and Ezzy. I think you can play Horston with them if you wanted to. I think you can. I think 4 probably is too much. I think 3 probably 3 max, and then obviously you're running it back with at least 1 or 2 Phoenix and just doing a full onslaught of that game is what you're doing. Yep. Hines Allen's versus Russell. I think Russell's way more safer and might have just about the same ceiling.
Yeah, I'm playing Russell there.
DK, you on the same with that? Russell over Hines Allen?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, she's a better play.
Who gets the Austin's minutes? So Austin's missed a lot of games this year because they're kind of taking it easy on her. But it's Aaliyah Edwards will start for her. And then what's Hines Allen to get, like an uptick in 5 or 10?
Yeah, she's gonna play like high teens, maybe touch 20, just depending on how she plays.
Yeah. Okay. So then we got oh man, the Phoenix and the Chicago, man, they've just been a thorn in my side this year. I had the Diana Taurasi hunch last game, but I didn't do it. So I think Kalia Copper's a great GPP play. Cloud, I think, is going to be maybe overowned. What's Cloud coming in at, DK?
I'll tell you. So not super popular, a little under 20%.
20. I like to be under that. Taurasi, I'm never playing unless I have a hunch like I did, and I still didn't because I'm a freaking idiot. Natasha Mack is a great fantasy point per minute woman.
I'm a hater.
You're a big hater, and I feel like sorry, DK, or actually, I'm gonna make you answer this, Cody. What's her ownership coming in at?
You'll have to ask DK. I don't have it up.
Come on.
It's a little. She's a little over 20. She's projected to be the highest owned player on.
God, RG they always.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I
probably want to match the field on that. I want to match the field, but I do think she's a good run. If you're full stack in the game, like I did just a second before the stream started, I put Mac in there. I think you did that.
Like the minutes have ticked up for her, right? 26,
that's what
26. High 20s in 3 of the last 4.
See, my only like this last game was my only worry with her is she has to play in the blowouts. So because they're sitting there
small ball.
They're top. Well, yeah, she usually plays like 20 to 22 minutes. But when she gets an uptick, like the game against Connecticut, she upticked to 27. She has to play because they don't have enough bodies to sit her. So she has to play in the blowout. 22 minutes against New York. She had a really bad game. She obviously just didn't close there. 27 against Minnesota. She played in the blowout again. This Sparks game, she played well. Like she was out there. I think she might, if she plays well, she could push 26, 27 minutes. Because they're going to have her. Like they have to have one big out there. Like
also, there's one thing to note: Birch didn't even play last game, so
yeah,
that does kind of if she gets the DNP again, that kind of solidifies the minutes for Mac.
Yeah. They did play Hannigan a few minutes last game. which
Yeah.
is weird. Like, you just play Mac. Like,
Yeah.
and I would like to play Mac. It's just her minutes. Like, and of course, the one game I play her is against Liberty, and she plays 20 minutes. And
Okay, but I mean, that's a tough matchup. Right? That's tough. I do not like taking bigs against the Liberty. It scares my dick off.
Well, I figured she would have to play. I mean, they're a big team. And
no,
22
true.
minutes, whatever.
Melbourne cheap play. I really like Melbourne.
Yep.
Borderline, like going in my main. I'll make that decision probably after the stream ends. Sutton, decent value. So we're just getting into Phoenix. We talked about Mac, and then we got, I guess, Sophie's just, I don't know. I mean, she's going to have a game where she goes for 30.
She hasn't been shooting the ball much. Like, and that's where she's going to make her hay. Like, she's a great 3-and-D player, but I think they're overworking her, like having her play the 4. I just don't think it works.
Yeah. I think maybe you like late swap on her if you need to like catch up ground or something.
Yeah.
So Sutton is probably, I think, a really good play. I know you're on her. If they close small and if both teams decide, okay, we're going to play small, I think Sutton benefits from that. I think she's fine, but I'm not falling on her price. And a lot of the builds I do is the only issue. DK, will you have any Sutton? If you were to run multiple lineups, would you have any Sutton?
Yeah, for sure. I think like right now, let me look at the value. I'd say probably like Sutton, Russell, and Cardoso, I think, are probably the 3 top values in the slate. So Sutton's been playing over 20 minutes. She should once again. Could play a little bit more, 25, 23 last couple of games. She hasn't shot well either. 0 of 4 over the last like 5 games. 0 of 3, 1 of 6, 0 of 4, 1 of 5, 1 of 4. She's not going to shoot a ton, but if she makes a couple shots, we know the peripheral stats are there. So she can easily go for 20 plus if she can get a couple shots. So yeah, I think she is one of the top values for sure.
What's her ownership coming in at? I'm sorry.
I think around 20%.
God, everyone's freaking 20%. Jesus, that seems about right though.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Sophie. I'll end with a question for Phoenix. This is for both you guys. Copper versus Cloud. Money doesn't matter. Who are you taking?
Money doesn't matter.
Actually, you know what? Let's say money does matter. Let's say that 500 gets you something.
I like Cloud better. I think Cloud would be close straight up, but point per dollar, it's pretty easily Cloud.
Yeah, I agree. Just the peripheral stats with Cloud. I mean, she's no matter what, she's the stone cold nuts. If she scores 20 real life points, she's the nuts. Like, she's gonna post a big.
We just saw that happen, didn't we?
Yeah.
Last game.
I mean, she put up 50. I think for tournaments, Copper's had a couple really down games since her crazy hot start. I think she's gonna come in way lower owned than Cloud, and Cloud always comes in low owned. She always does. But I really like both of them. I just love this game.
It is such a good game to stack. All right, I'll give like a 2-minute warning. If y'all want to start asking questions, I'll get caught up on these. AT or Stewie straight up? I'm going Stewie. I'm going heavy Stewie tonight. Yeah. I always do. Now she didn't play overseas in the offseason, right?
No.
Was that her?
No.
So I think she's starting off a little bit rusty. I think I heard on the broadcast that. Yeah,
she's been awful shooting the 3 ball.
It explains, like, I mean, if you're overseas, like getting out the mud, putting out you were not with her. She wasn't in the gym. No one was with her in the gym because she wasn't in the gym. She's probably having a family life, I'm pretty sure, or something. But it takes a while to kind of get that shot back, and maybe it comes tonight and we get a 60 burger. How about that? It could happen. Mabry or Cloud? I'm all Mabry. I might be different here. I might be the only one on Mabry over Cloud. You guys?
I think Mabry too.
Yeah.
What if the 200 gives you a nice little upgrade somewhere else?
I still lean Mabry.
Me too. Oh, damn. That's going to be different. JJ and Stewie together, I think that's because of the Sabali injury, I think that's more in play. Even though Chicago's not like no slouch inside. DK, would you play them together? I know me and Cody would.
Yeah, I think you can. Why not? I mean, it's not optimal. I definitely wouldn't do that for making probably just one lineup. But if you're making a bunch of lineups, I'm fine throwing them together.
I think you would need maybe the late game to blow out.
Yeah, you need some weird. You need some weird to happen.
Ezzy foul trouble.
Go to overtime or something, probably.
Yeah. Lloyd or Ezzy, straight up.
Oh,
For me, it's pretty clearly Lloyd, but I do like Ezzy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Lloyd's
right up
upside is so much more.
yeah. I might lean Ezzy.
I mean, definitely floor because like she don't have to make freaking 30 points. But
Ezzy's been just so consistent this year. Like she's scoring double figures in every game, and here before the season, I was like,
I mean, she gets 30 stocks a game.
She ain't even going to get the ball. Like I thought the only way she was going to score is grabbing offensive boards and putting them back. And she's looked great, and her stock upside's insane. But yeah, I would probably still lean Lloyd if price didn't matter. I mean, the ceiling is untapped with her.
Yeah, I go Lloyd. Nezzy goes for 5 steals and 5 blocks. Oh, that's exactly right. All right, guys, I think we can wrap it up. I still got some. I didn't realize we'd get through this fast, but let's do some flag plant plays. I don't have mine ready yet, but Cody, do you have your flag plant play ready?
In the video last night, I picked Skylar Diggins-Smith. I still really like her, but I'm going Jonquel Jones. Okay. I love Jonquel. Throughout the day, she's just like she's making her way into every lineup that I'm playing. I can't pass her up.
Maybe versus SDS is a tough question. I love both. I'm probably gonna have the same amount of both.
It's probably Mabry.
I like Diggins-Smith over Mabry.
I'm torn. It depends what 500 does.
Yeah, it's super close. Like Diggins-Smith is really, really starting to put everything together. Like the past 3 games.
Who's gonna be guarding her tonight, Cody? Who's gonna be guarding her?
Cloud. It'll be fun.
Who the fuck's Diana gonna guard?
Vivian's, because she doesn't do anything.
Oh, Vivian's going nuts, baby. You're playing Vivian's. Cody loves Vivian's. Everyone, Cody's absolutely jamming Vivian's. All right. My flat, DK, you're gonna go last, so you better have freaking absolute smoke. I'll take yours. I'm gonna go Bree Jones. A lot of stuff has happened. I know some of my builds. I'm trying to get away from her. I'm going right back. I'm not letting news change stuff. I'm going to get a lot of Bree Jones tonight at very low price still. DK, take us home.
Okay, yeah. So that was going to be mine, but I'll switch it up. I'll go a little.
I knew it.
I'll go a little off the board here. So I think like a majority of the field is going to try to get to one of AT or Stewart at the top. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with Jewel Lloyd. I think she'll go a little bit under the radar. Obviously gets the usage bump with Nika out. Not projected for a ton of ownership, and the ceiling's massive. So I'm fine going her to get a little bit different in GPPs.
Would you run John Clell in said lineup?
Yeah, I think you can.
Ooh, I got DK's build. I got it all in my head. We gave out the full thing. All right, boys. Any last words from either of you guys? No. Hey,
good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. I hope somebody wins 20K.
The person that wins tonight was watching this. They were ghost watching it if they weren't actually watching it. But yeah, we'll see what we can do about Friday. But I'll be in touch with both of you guys. Everyone, good luck tonight. We got like 26 minutes to build. Let me see if I can hit this button and no. All right, we're out. Appreciate you guys. And now. Not yet.